What's up guys, BARRYGAMING here, back with some more Eternal Evolution, and today, well, we're going to be going over a hero we ended up building on our, I think it's the start of week 5 on our account, because we finally have some regular banners, which honestly, one of them we might be going for here, getting some Ampu copies, getting some summoners going, and all that fun stuff. But we did end up building Pandemonium up to Immortal, and I kind of want to give you guys my review, especially since some of you guys might be having his banner up right now. I kind of feel bad for anybody who has like the Crete plus Pandemonium banner up right now if you're just starting the game playing week 3. Again, if you guys are brand new or you're just starting the game, make sure you guys go down in the description, use the link down below. That is our creator link. It helps give us credit saying, hey, we brought you to the game and all that fun stuff. So how does he actually work out? Well, he's not quite to level 200 yet, so some of his skills are not, like completely maxed out just yet. I think, yeah, this one, the Searing Fist, is needing to be leveled up, and then of course the Gravity Deflector does as well. We are also running him with a level 20 exclusive, so we are missing out on the very end here. And then talents wise, we pretty much just have him fully talented out. Equipment wise, we've been running him max HP. We have damage reduction boots. We're only missing one thing, and that is I'm struggling to find a helmet with actual HP percentage on it for my build. I keep re-rolling for it because right now he's sitting at 835. I feel like with the extra 50% there, it would just send him up through the roof in tank ability. Surprisingly though, his HP is up to 1.8 million, which is still the tankiest hero on our account. So I do have to say, overall tankiness, building him full HP is awesome. The other thing I try to do is get damage reduction on every other piece of gear, at least having like one roll in it if possible, or crit damage reduction. HP is a nice stat to have as well. But again, when you're playing this game of trying to find the most optimal gear, you're going to be constantly farming in this game. So yes, we have 3 times the 2 piece of Vigorous here as well. Let's kind of go over his abilities right now. So his ultimate ability here, Pandemonium slams ground, inflicting damage equal to 16% of max HP to all enemies within a straight line. Then enter Nuclear Magnetic Mode Barrier. Launch a Nuclear Magnetic Shock every 0.5 seconds, total of 4 times, inflicting 70% of base skill damage. A single enemy target can be affected by only 1 instance at a time, and of course it does go up higher when you do get the talent and it's cast. Allied tank heroes also gain this ability. I've really only tried using him with a couple of different tanks that we have kind of at our disposal on this account. We of course have Oak, which is in a decent situation. We have Boar, and then we also have Oisa. So not amazing ones to go with. We don't really have any SSS tanks to kind of pair him with. Overall though, I will say, as far as damage goes, like if you're looking for a damaging type hero, he kind of feels like he just lacks it. He's supposed to be a tank. He does do a good job like absorbing damage, but I don't know if it's enough. Again, luckily everything he does is pretty much HP based. His Nuclear Magnetic Shock, the user generates a shockwave inflicting damage equal to 7% of max HP to all enemies around him. It cannot crit, and of course it does go up to 10%. If this target is displaced, or if the target that he hits is displaced, their current skill is interrupted. That's nice, but his chance to knock them down is kind of modified by his accuracy, which isn't something you typically gear for with him, although it might be better if you do. His Searing Fist is kind of nice, especially when you get up to exclusive level 20. Pandemonium summons flames to his fist, then strikes the target violently, dealing damage based on HP. Also heals for 10%. So this we just recently got, and I will say going to exclusive 20 almost feels like a must for him, because when he attacks a target with a shield, the cooldown of the skill is refreshed immediately. So it is nice to keep using it over and over, and then he does have some decent sustainability. If the enemies don't have shields, this kind of feels a bit lackluster. It feels like it just doesn't happen often enough. And then lastly, we have Gravity Deflector. Pandemonium skills all have a base 30% chance, of course affected by accuracy. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier, to knock down targets. At the start of the battle, Pandemonium gains the damage diversion status, reduces all damage taken by 50% for 80 seconds. After the damage diversion ends, all of our heavy heroes deal permanent 40% increased damage. So the one thing that can happen is if you do have very offensive tanks set up, this can actually be pretty significant. And then for every 2% of damage reduction, Pandemonium takes 1% less melee damage, up to a total of 30%. So overall, it's not too bad. He is very tanky, but one thing I will say, the tankiness of a hero like Pandemonium, who doesn't have displacement himself, just pales in comparison, even to when I'm running my Nord offensively without even damage reduction boots, mainly because of one thing. And I feel like every tank hero has to be able to displace. If they can't displace, I feel like they're just immediately going to be a useless hero, and I think that just needs to be part of the design. This ability here, the Defensive Thump, he literally jumps in the air and hits the ground. Why this isn't considered as displacement, I have no clue. And the reason why is when we're talking about our commanders, a lot of times, especially if you're using Nord and things like that, you are going to be using this commander, Hagradon. This one is awesome because the Proton Shield is just one of the best survivability mechanics in the entire game. After using displacement skills, all allied heroes receive a shield equal to 30% of max HP. I mean, technically that doesn't work like that. You'd think if one hero uses displacement like Nord, everybody on your team would get a shield equal to 30% of their max HP. It's not actually how it works. The verbiage of this is absolutely horrible, and it lasts 5 seconds. Also increases the damage of the next skill up to 60%. So not only is it giving you defensive capabilities, it's making your next damaging ability deal more damage. Then it does say it is geared more towards Vanguard heroes. Deploying 3 or more Vanguard heroes will activate these effects every time your Vanguard heroes are attacked by enemy hero or a monster. There's a 40% chance to regenerate HP. This is going to be good for heroes like Artist, like Leo, things like that. But if you're using a Vanguard hero anyway, you're going to be using a different mechanic when it comes to your divine prototypes that are going to help you too. And of course, in PvP, it's going to be doing basically giving you more HP and damage. But this is kind of like the main survivability tactic, at least that I've been using. I've managed to get up through chapter 46. I haven't been pushing though. I'm sure we can probably get to about 50 right now. And the one thing is he has helped us with some survivability. You'll notice we're basically running like a full survivability team around our Nord and the Hagradon to make sure we have the displacement. But you'll notice here, watch, like even here, he does do a very good job tanking. The downside is he just doesn't really seem to have sustain by himself. Even having 3 full-on healers, like right behind him, he just dies so quickly here. I usually have this manual just so I can just target things correctly. But literally the only thing I'm using him for is to just buy some time, let our Nord kind of build up some energy so he's ready for an active. And yeah, it's okay. It's not like amazing, but it's definitely okay. But you can see even with 3 healers on his backside, trying to keep him alive in the very beginning of the battle, even when the enemies don't even have their own active abilities or ultimates ready to go, it's still a struggle. And Nord is literally just our hard carry here. Like you see this shield right here. This shield is what keeps him alive. Now, if Pandemonium also was considered a displacement skill with his active, I think that would make him probably one of the most usable tanks we've ever had in the game. Because as you guys can see here, like this is going smooth. He's just there to buy time. Previously, we would put like an Artist up front or something like that because he would get an ultimate ability. He would displace, he'd get that 30% extra shield, and it would be very useful. But at the same time, like, you have all this investment into this one hero here, whereas you could probably just chuck in any old Oak because Oak has his immunity. So you'll see Oak kind of does the same thing. He is kind of squishy, but because he has the immunity, he can still buy some time. Now, is it as much time as this very kitted out Pandemonium we have? Absolutely not. It doesn't compare because you can see Pandemonium, he's taking a lot of hits. But it's pretty close to timer. Now, if that right there would buy him time, I think it would be worthwhile if they just made this one last change, because they have buffed him from the original state. But I really think Defensive Thump should be considered an ability that displaces the hero. Just like this right here, you leap into the air and you charge a short distance. That's displacement. That gives you the shield. I think the same thing should be here because literally slams the ground. He does leap in the air to do the animation. So I'm kind of hoping maybe somewhere down the road we can convince the developers, just give him one last buff, one last. Let Defensive Thump be a displacement skill, and then I think he will be a very much usable and probably one of the best tanks in the game. But tanks all have that same issue of survivability. Just give them all displacement. I mean, that's pretty much all I can say. It's the easiest fix. It might be a band-aid fix, but kind of seems like what the easiest solution is. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you guys have been using him in the end game. I'd love to know what that's like too, because again, we're on a very early game account and we don't quite have his exclusive all the way leveled up either, but I mean, that's only if you're using other tanks too, and we're not currently doing that. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.